All right, hello. We're going to be talking here about public relations and advertising, and they are two different things. Of course, we have focused entirely on advertising, but public relations and advertising can and should complement each other, and we're going to be talking in this video and in this outline, and then there will be a second one about how they are different and how they do complement each other. Our conversations are based on Advertising Age, the Principles of Advertising and Marketing Communication at Work, a textbook by Thorson and Duffy, and Cengage Publishing is the publisher. A while back, United Airlines found itself suffering negative publicity when a customer whose guitar had been broken by United baggage handlers created a YouTube video that received 2 million views. Now, needless to say, he was not happy about, one, the guitar being broken, and even more so, he was not happy about how United responded to his guitar being broken. And so, in the age of YouTube and social media, he created a video that was very embarrassing to United Airlines. Let's see the first part of that.
Nebraska, the plane departed Halifax, connecting in Chicago's O'Hare. While on the ground, a passenger said from the seat behind me, "My God, they're throwing guitars out there." The band and I exchanged a look, best described as terror, at the action on the tarmac, and knowing whose projectiles these would be. So before I left Chicago, I alerted 3 employees who showed complete indifference towards me.
All right, so we'll get out of that. You can kind of see where that's going. And then CNN did a story about this, which added, of course, to United Airlines' problem. And so we'll look at a part of that video that CNN did.
As a mom, we'll do anything for our children. But when you're in debt and stuck financially, where do you turn?
Thing we're all united on. When baggage handlers mess up a guy's guitar,
"You broke my Taylor guitar,"
and he writes a song about it, the airline should try not to lose his luggage the next time.
"'Cause United breaks guitars."
Dave Carroll got famous for putting his complaint about United on YouTube this summer.
"You broke it, you should fix it."
Though he never got his $1,200 repair bill reimbursed, he did get offers to speak on improving customer service. And on his way to just such a speaking engagement,
United was the only way to get here, and they lost my bag.
Lost his bag, took almost 3 days to return it. Dave couldn't wear the dress shoes he wanted to wear to the presentation, and he couldn't hand out CDs of United Breaks Guitars.
United breaks guitars.
Because they were all in the suitcase United lost.
Okay, so we'll stop that there. Obviously, this is not a good situation for United Airlines. There's a couple of aspects, at least, with this. One is company organization should never behave in this way and create the problem in the first place. And more so, and preventing public relations catastrophes is part of public relations. But the part that we think of more so as public relations is how do you respond after something like this happens? How do you make it better? So that's what we're going to be talking about here. So inadequate planning. So again, you hope that you don't create such a situation in the first place. Poor employee training, that appears to be part of the situation here. Consumer unfriendly policies, create public relations crises for companies and organizations, and then they have to respond, usually in the media. Good public relations practices can prevent such crises in the first place and help to positively respond to embarrassing problems when they occur, which clearly United did not do here. PR itself sometimes has public relations problems. The image of the glib glad-hander who spins the facts is one of the prevalent images of people who work in public relations. Some people imagine public relations to be someone having a glamorous job with a big expense account, and that can be true, but it's not usually true. So one definition of public relations is the strategic management of competition and conflict for the benefit of one's own organization and, when possible, also for the mutual benefit of its various stakeholders or publics. So you hope your first obligation, of course, is to your own organization, but in modern public relations, we also hope to do some good for others who are connected to us in some way. The definition that I just read to you emphasizes dialogue over one-way communication. So dialogue being two-way communication, back and forth, an exchange of ideas and points of view. But it acknowledges that conflict is an inevitable part of doing business. Try as United may, they're going to make some people unhappy. And sometimes it might not be United's fault, but in the court of public opinion, they're probably going to suffer for it anyway. And then sometimes it is their fault, as it clearly was in this particular case. But conflict is going to happen. Also, conflict with other organizations is also inevitable. Responsible public relations should benefit the organization and contribute to the well-being of publics. Publics here meaning people outside of the organization. And as your textbook says, not only is it the right thing to do, it's also good for business in the long run. So now we're going to talk about controlled and uncontrolled media. One of the aspects of public relations, apart from what we've already discussed, is obtaining publicity for your organization in the news or in entertainment programs, most often in the news. But publicity then is what might be called free advertising. Of course, there's no such thing as free advertising. If it's free, it's not advertising. But some people use that term. But what we hope for and what we can successfully bring about is favorable mention of our product or our organization in the news, and sometimes in entertainment programs. So let's talk about that. Traditional advertising that we've been talking about throughout the semester is considered controlled media, in that the advertiser specifies when and where the message is deployed. If you want an ad in the sports section of the Sunday edition of the Dallas Morning News, then you control that. You can make that happen. Also, websites, public speaking events, emails are controlled media. Increasingly now in the digital age, in the age of social media, we control our own media. We can put messages out to the public via Facebook and Twitter and the rest of it, and we control that. Public relations produces externally uncontrolled media. A news release may or may not be used by newspapers, TV, radio, etc. But if we're good at what we do, then we can provide television stations, newspapers, what have you, with stories that they will find interesting and they think their viewers or their readers will find interesting. And then they carry those stories in the news, and that is to our benefit. So let's have a look here at the comparison of advertising versus public relations, and in this particular case, the video is very favorable to public relations.
People think to
earn publicity, you need to spend a lot of money on ads, but that is not true. You can actually earn tons of local and national publicity without spending 1 cent. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But first, please make sure you subscribe to this channel because I will be posting videos just like this one every Thursday. Lots of people reach out to me to get coverage on a media outlet or in a media outlet that their ideal customer or client is paying attention to. And they always say, well, shouldn't I just advertise? Isn't that quicker and easier? Yes, it's quick and it's easy because you just pay for the coverage, but you're going to be paying a lot of money and it's not as effective. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can spend a lot less and get a lot more, not only in terms of publicity, but also in terms of ROI. So stay tuned because I'm about to break down the difference between advertising and publicity. Earned media is worth 3 times more than an advertisement, and this is why. It's because people are not paying attention to ads like they used to. They're actually paying attention to the content. So use yourself as an example. When you're watching the Today Show or Good Morning America, are you watching it for the commercials or are you watching it for the actual content? When you pick up a newspaper or a magazine, you want to read the news, you want to read the stories, you don't care about the ads. Same thing on social media. When you scroll through Facebook or Instagram, you don't want to see the ads. You want to see what your friends and the other people that you're following are up to.
Okay, so we'll pause that at that point, but you get the idea. That with public relations, if it's skillfully done, you get favorable publicity at no cost other than the cost, of course, of paying people to do public relations, and there is a cost involved in the work that they do, but you're not buying the space or buying the time in media. So there's certainly an advantage, and what she's talking about there is called third-party credibility. If people realize they're seeing an ad, then they're their defenses go up. When something is mentioned favorably in a news story or in an entertainment program even, then they're more receptive to it. Successful efforts are termed earned media. I think she used that term in the video, in that the PR activity was exciting or interesting enough to be published or broadcast. Earned media is far less expensive than paid advertising because you don't pay for it, and consumers often find it more credible than advertising, which is what we were talking about a moment ago. That's also called third-party credibility. So if you can successfully obtain publicity through a public relations campaign, then that's a terrific thing. All right, we've got more to talk about. We'll stop here for now. And we'll pick this up again next time. Thanks.